Hey, mathematicians, last time we talked about intercepts. Today we're going to talk about how to interpret intercepts. So intercepts are where the line crosses the x and the y axis. And now we're going to see, what does that mean in real life? Okay, so we have this graph and this t-table. And what we want to do is interpret the intercept. So when I'm looking at it, we've got peanuts. So picture, okay, this big box of peanuts that is being poured. The peanuts are being poured into bags at a rate of 4 ounces per second. So kind of envision this big box. Okay, you're tipping it, pouring it, or whatever. Okay, and then the table shows a function relating the weight of the peanuts in the box and the time in seconds that the peanuts have been pouring out of the box. Okay, so as you're pouring it out, what's happening to the weight? The weight of the box is going down because more peanuts are coming out of it. Okay, so when we look at this particular graph, we want to find the intercepts. We told you to look for the zeros. So right here, there are my intercepts. Okay, I can also look at my graph. Here are my intercepts. Okay, where it crosses the x-axis. And so we want to understand what that means. So the y-intercept is right here. It's 2,000. Okay, and that 2,000 represents weight in ounces. So when there are 2,000 ounces, there are 0 seconds. So it's been pouring for 0 seconds if there's 2,000 ounces. When we look at the other intercept, the x-intercept, we recognize that at 0 weight, so 0 ounces, it's been 500 seconds. So identifying what the intercepts are would be saying that the y-intercept is 2,000 and the x-intercept is 500. Interpreting what that means applies it to the real scenario, where the y-intercept is 2,000. That means that when they start pouring, right before they start pouring, there's 2,000 ounces of peanuts. The x-intercept says that it took 500 seconds for all of the peanuts to be poured. Okay, so that's what we're talking about when we're saying, what do they mean? Okay, we mean that at 0 seconds at the start, there were 2,000 ounces of peanuts. At 0 ounces, so when the box was empty, it took 400 seconds to empty that box. So we're interpreting what those mean. All right, here we go. Let's try another one. Jules has a gas card for a local gas station. The table shows the function relating the amount of money on the card and the number of times she stopped to purchase gas. Okay, so we have to determine the x and y intercepts. So again, I want to find the zeros. That's going to help me figure out my intercepts. So the x-intercept is going to be when y is 0. So y is 0 there. So my x-intercept is 5. My y-intercept is when x is 0. So 125 is my y-intercept. That's identifying what they are. Now, describing what they mean is this. The y-intercept, which is 125, that means with 0 gas stops, she has $125. So it means that there is $125 on the card before she starts spending. Okay, before she starts spending, before she starts buying gas. Identifying and then interpreting them. Okay, let's do another one right here. Sally's paintings, okay? She loves painting. So we have to determine the y-intercept of the graph right here. The y-intercept of the graph is 50. Okay, now when I look at this graph, I don't see an x-intercept. Okay, well, let's think about what this means. Sally's paintings. This is what she charges. That's her y-axis, her dependent. This is how many hours she works. Okay, so at 0 hours, she charges $50, which probably means that if you want her to do a job for you, you have to charge her $50 just to get started, which is not that out of the realm, because think about, let's say your furnace goes out and you have to call a repairman. They charge you just to show up at your house, right? Or if you are going to need your refrigerator, they're going to just charge you to show up. And then they charge you every hour after that. So I would say the reason we don't have an x-intercept is because if I extend this line to where it's going to meet the x-intercept, we're talking negative hours. And Sally certainly can't work negative hours. Okay, so we don't have an x-intercept because it doesn't make sense for the problem. Okay, it doesn't make sense because you can't work negative hours. Oops, can't work negative hours. Okay, does the y-intercept mean in this problem? Kind of like what we talked about. It's the starting amount of that price. Okay, starting amount of the package. So you're going to be working on a sheet where you're going to be given 3 graphs. You're going to have to identify what the intercepts are and then explain what they mean. And I'm going to be pretty particular with that. So if you've got questions, make sure you ask. All right, have a great day. We'll see you later.